Hey guys, welcome back to the ESL Pro League Southeast Asia Closed Qualifiers. It's our first day, but our final match for today, and a pretty interesting one there on train, 16-14, which was a 13-2, turning into a very, very long map. Did not expect to see it go that far after the first half.
It was interesting in the sense that TNC nearly brought it back and they played really well on the CT side, but it was really just interesting to see how the team structured on their T side. I'll just leave it like that.
Yeah, was not a whole lot there, but we are moving on to Mirage, which is a bit more of a standard bread and butter kind of a map. Some teams aren't necessarily so comfortable on train, but pretty much everyone, I think, is comfortable on Mirage at this point. I can't think of a single team that has it as one of their bans or a map that they don't play. So surely Mirage must be a better map.
I wish I could still be as optimistic as you. I used to be this optimistic as well.
Give me one team that doesn't play Mirage.
As in doesn't play Mirage. I mean, I was just going to say who doesn't play Mirage properly, and these teams might not be able to play Mirage properly. That's what I'm going to say.
Well,
I mean, at one stage that I would have banned Mirage against Cloud9 of old, for example. I wouldn't have dared verse them. I wouldn't have liked versing Astralis and Mirage, so that's when it's not in my map pool.
It's different when it's the opponent's best map and you don't want to play it based on that, but I think everyone has the fundamentals on Mirage. It's like the Dust 2 of old, where everyone kind of knew how to play Dust 2, it was always in there. Sometimes you ban it because you didn't want to play it against a certain team, but that's a bit of a different concept. What we've got here, Mirage, is the map choice of FrostFire. So they kind of have a bit of a better chance here, I think, than what they did on Train even. I mean, TNC being the ones to choose Train, you would have thought that they should pick it up, but they just didn't seem to have anything on their T side, which is so surprising because you pick a map like Train or for example, like Nuke as well. You gotta ensure that your T side is good on those maps because you know that you're going to be starting on the T side.
Yeah, and it was just they went into the T side. Clearly, it looks like FrostFire had done their homework in terms of how they executed. But from round number one, right? If I saw that a team had just put 3 or 4 in Ivy and pushed me like that, I would have just instantly thought, hang on a moment. Normally, I execute Ivy because I'm assuming that's what they normally do. If I execute like this and they're countering me, it looks like they've done demo reviews. We need to seriously think about what we need to be doing in our default and changing around. But it looks like they didn't really change that much around. They didn't adapt to how FrostFire played on their CT side. And that's what makes me worried. It depends on how many rounds, obviously, FrostFire will get on their T side coming into Mirage. TNC's T side filled me with, if that was their map pick, and that was their executes, and that was their default, I don't know. Like I said, I'm being really negative once again, but it does feel me worried because you have to compare it to the better teams, right? Like this is what you're gonna be looking at when you're playing in these leagues, these kind of teams. You got to be looking at how to improve, and you don't improve by people just going, oh, bad luck, you did really well, etc. You came close, and yeah, TNC, you did come close, but you really did yourself a big disservice by not having a good T side. And I can't say bad luck to that when you lose the map that close. You could have won. It's because you didn't practice hard enough or understand the fundamentals on how to take your T side or how to counter the CT aggression led to your defeat. How are you going to work on improving that in the future?
Well, you've heard from Kevin, so
it's harsh, I know, but that's how you improve.
He's laying down the law. Let's also hear from our friends at Betway and see what kind of situation we've got for us here. FrostFire very, very favoured now at the moment, which is a little surprising to me. I think TNC still have a chance. You know, we've already seen what they can do on the CT side. It was not confident enough for FrostFire for me to be like, great, FrostFire's going to get the 2-0. If FrostFire would have won that map 16-5, 16-3, whatever, then I think, yes, you could say something like this. But, I mean, TNC, they're going to have a pretty horrible Mirage if the odds are going to be this skewed here for this map.
Yeah, and at the same time as well for TNC coming into this, I think starting on the CT side, it's going to be good. It allows Wits to... they need to build up their economy firstly, so I don't want to see any force buys coming out that damages their economy. Gets Wits that orb. You've got really good riflers as well. Kenzie was struggling, but get him picking up some confidence early on, get him some anti-eco frags, and all of a sudden you've got to line up on the CT side, get enough rounds that you can take your time on the T side to establish these. You were saying that they need to talk about it over a break and think about it. This is something that comes over time. This is something that they need to learn, and they can... I mean, this is so difficult, right? Because it's the whole concept of if there's something that you didn't even realize that you were missing out before, how are you meant to learn it?
You got to go back and look at the VODs and figure out what's going wrong.
Yeah, but you look at the VODs, and if you don't understand what's going wrong, how do you learn about it?
You need a second opinion or a coach or whatever.
Exactly, and that's what I feel like some of these teams are missing is like they need to start either getting coaches into giving them a bit of a hand, including FrostFire as well. Because
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the potential of
Well, it
these
wasn't
guys.
that great from FrostFire either.
100%, and you look at the potential, because I'm blasting TNC the entire time. FrostFire, their T side was even worse, because it wasn't as if TNC were doing anything like pushing in or counter-stratting. They were just playing a solid CT hold, which is what I like seeing. Don't get me wrong.
Wits was going crazy with the orb.
Yeah. The point being is, you got the potential in these players. You saw how good Wits is. You see how good Archap as well as Chapman are. So where's the strategy? All right, this is where we get the brains operation in. We get someone who can teach us on how to get these executes right, on what the concept of map control and the fundamentals. Oh, look, we can beat Boot Dreamscape at their own game. You've got the aimers to do it.
Yeah.
You just need the brainers now. I don't see enough brainers.
Need
That's
those
the
big
problem.
brain plays.
Exactly. But into the pistol round. Enough of my rants.
And I want to see what FrostFire have got on their T side, because, yeah, both sides on T of Train did pretty shockingly. So I think the T rounds are going to be the ones that will be more impactful, I will say. So FrostFire, they get 5-6 here. Off to a pretty good start, but you'd be wanting more even still on Mirage. Pro will go down. No, he won't. He survives for so long. Eventually, he gets dropped. But Divide is in the 1v2. The bomb is retrievable for him now because the smokes are up, but he needs to go back and grab himself a USP. Great shot onto Borkum. He has a chance against Kenzie, but can't quite land the finishing blow. TNC come away with the pistol.
That's going to be beneficial for them. That's 2 CT pistols, 1 for them now, as FrostFire were able to take their own CT pistol as well. So far the USP is reigning supreme, and Pro, like you were saying, was staying alive for so long. I don't know how I was able to get away with that. FrostFire, not getting the bomb plant down, but they're not investing in anything in this round just as of yet. They're just hopping around, having a bit of a chat before they decide to all go Deagles, and it might be a shooting gallery somewhere.
If I recall correctly, FrostFire didn't put too much into their second round on the T side of Train either after they lost the pistol.
I think they forced a couple of armor and
Yeah,
whatnot.
they had 2 players with pistol armor, but the rest just had pistols. So they're not the kind of team that forces into every second gun round, or second round, I should say.
I honestly can't remember now, because I know TNC did that. Because I remember talking about how Wits and Papachulo had armor, but I don't remember about FrostFire's pistols. You may be correct, though.
Oh, maybe I'm getting them mixed up.
I don't know. It's been
Anyway,
multiple pistols we've had today.
FrostFire have not fully bought into it, but the Eagles can make magic happen, and there is one. Papachulo goes down to start things off. UMP there for Divide. Not really a weapon that you'd be too keen on using, I don't think, in this round with no armor. If someone on FrostFire had put a little bit of armor in, then you could be like, okay. But at this point, I still even think the Deagles are actually the better option for FrostFire. Get that one-shot headshot. You don't have to take the aim battle with the aim punch and that kind of thing. I suspect Divide will just hang on to the UMP and potentially use it later in the round if there's some lower HP players. But for now, it's Deagles for days for FrostFire.
I mean, they able to get so much territory at the moment, and that's a pretty scary thing. But Borkum, really risky challenging like that, especially considering there could be players with more controllers. Kenzie, got to be spotting what's going on in Connector, mate. You've actually allowed one to go through. Chapman could be doing some damage right now, but Borkum looks like he's in the right position. Of course, it's Borkum bailing them out.
Crisis averted. Therefore, TNC looked all right at the start for FrostFire, but look, that is the way that the round is supposed to play out. TNC cleaning everything up there, and they didn't really have any rifles, so they haven't lost too much. Just the one SMG.
Yeah, but this should be a pretty clinical slaughter coming out on the side of, for TNC. FrostFire, they barely have anything, just a single P250, your standard Palace dropout. Already Papachulo is going to be on the site. He's going to be blinded out, though. Okay, hang on a moment. Papachulo trying to keep the fight up. Trying to stick it to the man, but this grenade should clean up.
Yeah, I don't think there'll be a chance for a bomb plant.
Boom.
2-4-1. It's like a special down at Coles. TNC, though, 3-0. First gun round here for FrostFire. So, what have they got on the T side? We've been talking about it, wondering what they'll be able to show us. Wits has got the AWP straight away. Good decision. And full AK setup for FrostFire to start things off.
Yeah, also a lot of utility as well. That first smoke, I think, has already been thrown, but it's fast down to the A bomb side, but it looks a bit 3 or 2 out. Palace ready to bust out. They're just committing straight forward. But Papachulo traded out once again, 1-for-1 at best. Pro trying to anchor down that A ramp. He's being an absolute nuisance so far. That is efficient trading and a half. Really stalled the plans right now of FrostFire.
Yeah, you can't be allowing an SMG to get 2 kills like that. FrostFire will not have an easy time of winning this round. Chapman able to get 1 here, but has been spotted from CT spawn. Borkum grabs that kill. And in the meanwhile, Devi can't even help him out because he's stuck behind that Molotov.
Can take these isolated duels though. All the CTs not covering the right positions. May have just been spotted out by that peak though. Devi trying to find Pro, but Pro off to a blistering start. Can't ask for anything better on that bonus round. 2 kills in the MP9, adding some money, get some extra interest on his investments, and then he gets an AK-47 as well. That's like getting, I don't know.
Having your cake and eating it.
Yeah, pretty much. All the cake.
Oh, another pistol save for FrostFire. Slight investment behind.
But it was just really bizarre because, I mean, once again, FrostFire, they've got... It's not a situation where they have limited utility, so they're forced to execute off the bat. They just decide to go for it with a lot of utility, and all it takes was one SMG at close range just to put a dent in those plans. I mean, still a chance in this round, though. A lot of pressure at unders as well as in connector, and Papachulo, as well as Kenzie, at close range against pistols, never a good thing.
No, just definitely not. It's not a foregone conclusion just yet until we see the round play out. Pop flash into connector. Papachulo, very sharp. I'll spray down 3. Now I feel as though it's a foregone conclusion. By able to get 1 and a second there as well. Bit of damage to that CT economy, but nothing too substantial. Already 2 players above 10k.
Stick a balk in them. They're done.
Mm-hmm. T-side not looking great for FrostFire again here on Mirage.
Ah, look, they've only had 1 buy round, and I was a little bit skeptical in terms of just going after a blind A-side execute. Let's see if they can take default map control, because they've got a lot of utility to work with. It's not as if they have to rush 20 seconds off the bat to just go in blindly like that. Contest over mid, though, this time around. Molotov might have missed from the T side. The smoke's already been used, so eventually the CT is going to have to reposition themselves, and Wit's going to missing actually a shot very early on.
Just a chaotic fight here in middle. A lot of team flashes. The end, FrostFire do, I suppose, come away with the control of mid, but they've had to invest so much into it. Look at all the utility that's been used. Sub-Bs didn't see him? I'm not so sure.
Oh, it was really messy, that's for certain. And Pro, oh, he just chimes in. Does he have a smoke to get away with? That's probably not going to be it. There's no short control as well. That's going to be really problematic because they're going to be pincering Pro off, and he's going to be a dead man walking.
Yep.
And this B site is very weak now. Borkum has to go make an aggressive play.
Chap makes noise, however, but doesn't matter. He wins the aim battle. Eamon, in the meanwhile, did get Kenzie. This is looking much, much better for TNC. Even still, they have a player on the A-bomb side. But what is going on here? They're walking right into Wits, and he's gotten 2.
And the bomb! And what is Chapman doing? He's exploring the world. He's forgetting about his obligations as a teenager.
Thought they knew that the B site was opened.
They didn't.
And they decided to go to A, which is where both of the CTs were holding.
Papachulo is just waiting the entire time, takes the first contact, and then the bomb drops down, and alongside with the bomb dropping down is the hope of FrostFire picking up the first round, and they honestly did all the good yards to get into it.
Wow.
They did everything right. But it's still TNC picking up the 6th round thanks to some individual effort coming out from Wits.
I mean, yeah, you hit a couple of good shots, but probably shouldn't have been even given that opportunity.
Absolutely not, and it's filthy, it's disgusting, doesn't matter what you want to call it, but they'll take it and they'll roll with it for TNC. But for FrostFire, I'd say just, they need to try it the same way, taking this mid control, but it looks like, oh, look at this pressure coming out. So once again, the progression smoke coming out from the CT spawn, denying mid control from FrostFire, and then TNC are just going to push there and fall back. We saw this coming out from Boot Dreamscape earlier on, but unlike Bulbasaur, they don't overstay their welcome. And look what they're doing now. They're playing retake A. They're putting all their eggs in this B site. Just gambling on the fact that FrostFire are going to come in through there.
Well, that's where FrostFire is shaping up for at the moment. 2 players looking toward underpass or apartments. It's quite possible for FrostFire to just take control of mid and then wrap back into A again. Fairly similar to what they did in the last round, though this time they don't have the player lurking out onto A, and I wonder if that was part of the problem. It's like the player wrapping onto A didn't actually see anyone there, so he must have said, oh, A side's clear.
100%. That's just Papachulo just keeping hidden, not really enthusiastic in getting anything done. And Chapman, Borkum maybe pushing in just a little bit too early, a little bit too enthusiastically. Not needed just yet, but he gets quite a bit of information on FrostFire, now a little bit scared. Are ready to try to take this short position, though. Pro coming out, 1-for-1, gets a lot of information, and Kenzie coming out, Kenzie! Ah! It feels good!
Yeah, for Kenzie, it most certainly does. Definitely not for FrostFire. Witz is going to jump on up.
Is that Gratisfaction? This is the Filipino Gratisfaction, calling it now.
He's pretty insane. FrostFire, FrostFire, FrostFire.
I'm just happy for Kenzie, man. It's just
such a good start, but it's again just I don't know, like 2 rounds there where FrostFire open up correctly. They get the opening couple of frags, they have a player advantage, and then it falls by the wayside. This time Kenzie, big individual play. The previous round, probably a bad read, bad call from FrostFire, but it's just those kinds of rounds that lead to something like a monstrous first half for TNC here. If you're not winning those rounds that can break the economy of the CT side, or at least get yourself with that right foot forward, what kind of rounds can you hope to win, FrostFire? Probably not this one, because the buy, if they do choose to go for it, is going to be awful. They may not even choose to go for it.
Just seems like we're watching train again, but the teams are just flipped. This time around TNC, I mean, no one's going huge man fragging mode. Everyone's having their impact rounds. But ultimately the problem is, at the end of the day, is that they haven't been able to push up the defenders, and it looks like TNC are being able to read the situation correctly and just push FrostFire into these areas where they just mow them down.
Pistols only for FrostFire in this one. Quickly into the A site. Pro and Witz playing a nice crossfire there. Papachulo waiting for anyone coming from A main. Easy round for TNC. 8-0 is up. I can't believe what I'm watching. Like, it's such a sense of deja vu from Train.
I can believe what I'm watching, because I suspected this might happen again. And it doesn't bode well coming into Nuke. It's going to be so dependent on the CT side and who's hitting shots on the T side. It just boils down to FrostFire that, I mean, TNC aren't doing anything particularly special so far. I mean, how they were playing that short position, really aggressive on, even though they did lose Borkum, it was a calculated risk. But FrostFire just expending manpower, just try to get these positions quickly. And it might work out in this round, because Witz is going to be isolated quite fast.
You say that, but so many times we've seen an opener for FrostFire turn into a round win for TNC. Eamon will drop. Now the rotation comes across for TNC, and FrostFire just are not quick enough. Archap last alive now for them once again, and he'll drop. TNC up to 9-0.
Well, I think we're jumping onto Nuke, but it'll be a 16-14 first.
Yeah, it looks like it. Hey.
Oh, man. This is not what I was expecting going into this. Oh, I mean, I was expecting a few T rounds, but this is just demolition at this stage. FrostFire, there's just no fight in them. There's no fire, just frost. So, only Archap here going to be throwing a semblance of some mid-take, but the rest of the players are going to be heading over to that B bomb site instead. It's not going to be here this time around. That nade doing a good chunk of damage.
Doesn't matter what side they hit to at this point.
Borkum.
I don't think so.
In a bit of trouble right now, but they're not going to check this couch just yet. The trade comes out a little bit late. Kenzie still going to be biding his time, but pressure also coming out from short. As Kenzie trying to stay alive right now. Archap, though, is going to be coming from the short position. Pro able to switch around just in time. And Chapman trying to crawl in. Cannot evade old mate Witz. Young man, old mate, going to have to find out.
10-0. Been here before.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. Saw this in the last map. Was not impressed before. Got to be happy for TNC. But yeah, don't know what else to say.
Not much to say. Not much to say for the T side anyway. Looking really good again for TNC. Witz, again, impressive with the AWP. Wonder if FrostFire are going to be able to do the same on CT. But you can never really expect it, can you?
No, you can't. And Kenzie just too close to the CZs, and Borkum's in a bit of trouble as well. So a bit of an opportunity right now for FrostFire on the back of this eco round.
Yeah, FrostFire. Let's see what they can do. Can they get up to 5 rounds? Maybe it's a possibility now. 2 rifles in their hands. Rotation coming across from TNC. They've got a lot of cash to play with, but not a whole lot of time here. And all 3 coming from short does give FrostFire an easy avenue of attack. Wits hits 1. It's going to be down to these remaining 2 players now, Pro and Wits, to find 3. Wits has spotted out Eamon, who just pops his head up above the bench. But Archap in such a commanding position with the CZ will shut down Pro, and now the timer is ticking away a little bit too much here for Wits, I feel. Jumps on the bomb. Easy kill for Divide. The first round for FrostFire here on Mirage does come in the 11th.
Yeah, it came down to the B-site rush, and I mean, still enough money for TNC to buy up. They're just going to be more wary of the fact that a rush could be coming forward. They're just going to be dropping some more early utility. And how FrostFire going to go? It looks like they're angling for an A-side attack. Nope. Going to be taking more of a default. I like it.
Pretty much every round now for FrostFire is a must-win. Walking through the smoke into the angle that Wits is watching is never going to be a good idea. Archap comes off worse in that instance.
They've tried it too many times in trying to take this fast short control. Wits is a bit wary this time around. Flashbang doesn't manage to catch off this chair position.
Oh, Davai missing the shot. And no trade available just yet there from Chapman. He will eventually get it, but sacrifices a huge amount of his HP to that grenade.
They might not expect that Papachulo's still here, and Borkum's actually just pushed B-site once again. This man is just aggression, unrelentless aggression, will not stop, can't stop. And Kenzie spotted out the AWPer in Chapman. Cinder Grenade's going to be also used just to apply some of the heat.
FrostFire need to move quickly.
But they don't know Papachulo's still here.
No, they most certainly do not. Have a look at this. They have no idea. Subbies will get Kenzie, but Papachulo, as you say, completely unspotted.
Yeah, that's not reset territory just yet, because at least FrostFire still have a bit of cash, but
Back to square one, though.
a bit back to square two, I'd say. Not the worst. So just a few pistols. We'll be able to get a buy in the next one, as long as they're responsible and subbies as well as Archap.
We're going to get another 12-3 first half.
Potentially so. Pro's actually just gone aggressive alongside with Kenzie. They've managed to pick off one, but now might be in a bit of trouble at mid, but they get flashed out for their troubles. Kenzie still trying to fight it out. The flashbangs are good from the teammates, but Chapman and the Deagles reigning supreme. 2-on-3 all of a sudden, just like that. FrostFire once again have the advantage.
Yeah, that's a bit how you going. Maybe 4's a chance for FrostFire. Oh dear. Well, into the B bomb site by the looks of things here for FrostFire. Bomb leading the charge, and Borkum there to await them. Only the 1 rifle retrieved for FrostFire. Subbies has spotted out Borkum. Will take the aim battle, but where's the trade? The Deagle shot's not connecting for Eamon. It's gone wrong for FrostFire. They won't be able to win this round now, I don't think. Now that the rotation has come across, Borkum has set himself and does get the kill on O'Davy. So it's Areno final. And that 11-4 dream very quickly goes up in smoke.
Yeah, this is looking more like a 14-1 dream at the moment. And once again, FrostFire, they managed to get the kills, but they just seem to gamble incorrectly every single time. They decide to commit to the site where TNC have members still, and Borkum just positioning himself. He's a sound radar. He is relaying all the information over into Wits. And he just goes, all right, they're coming over B. Just going to kill them all. AK is now out for play for FrostFire, but might be the same case of same old. Fast short, might be able to catch him off by surprise.
Oh, he sees the shadow. That'll be an easy kill for Subbies, but does he expect another one? Doesn't look like Kenzie's actually going to push up, but Wits now has the info, spots the gun barrel of Archap. No trade there from FrostFire just yet, but Divide will get it, poking out from Palace. Look at the position of Kenzie here as well. Does get the better of Subbies, so 3v3. FrostFire starting to overwhelm this A bomb site though. Need to get some of that utility down, force some of these players away. Molotov into jungle, good shot from Eamon. The bomb plant was denied. Pro in the 1v2. Definitely a winnable round. Eamon and Devi very low on HP.
Yeah, I mean, Devi's just kind of left his teammate to die, but Eamon's there holding the lines. Really questionable, because imagine if Pro got that kill,
Yeah.
would have been reset into a one-on-one, and that really could have been anyone's game. Regardless,
With the
FrostFire.
bomb down in the middle of nowhere.
With the bomb down in the middle of nowhere. But FrostFire managed to get that elusive second round into the final round of the half. And TNC will be able to drop, but actually no, won't be able to drop. Their economy isn't in the best shape, so Kenzie actually has to go for a CZ, and they don't have a full battle utility on everyone.
Well, let's see what FrostFire can do here. Every single T round is so critical between these two teams. They would love to get to 3. Normally we don't tell this kind of a storyline, but we've already seen the CT side for both on the train. FrostFire out onto the A bomb site. Papichulo still unchecked, and he will peek out. Chapman goes down. TNC looking to be doing a bit of a number here on FrostFire, and they most certainly are. Eamon and Devi, 2v4.
And Borkum's just already here in A ramp, just as the bomb plant gets down. That's just ridiculous, and both of them are just going to die just to Borkum, unless Eamon, okay, Eamon on. Not much longer.
Yeah, it was always going to be tough.
13-2, wow, you can't write these scripts any better, Jordan.
I don't know what to say.
I know your predictions are pretty good, but these are absolutely on point today so far.
Question is, though, is TNC going to be able to just get that pistol and roll over this, or are we in for another long one? FrostFire to try and make a comeback.
16-14, TNC victory.
Yeah.
I'm laughing at the moment, but I'll be crying later because it's going to happen. I mean, once again, it's just TNC continuing the good work from the CT side, but for FrostFire on the T side, it was just, I mean, a couple of questionable rotations. Just based on the information that they still had time to manipulate around and move around the map. Jumped the gun a little bit too quickly and were punished for it.
They say history repeats itself. So if we get another 16-14 here, would not be surprised.
All right, let's see if the CT pistol win continues or if finally the Glocks can actually come up on top.
That would be the dream for TNC, wouldn't it? Just knock this map over really cleanly. Get that pistol. You are very likely to get away with the map. Hasn't been a long map so far.
That's what you said about Train. Wasn't a long map, and then it turned out to be a long map.
Definitely. So TNC. Looks like they're grouping up toward underpass. It'll be an A split. A little bit coming through from mid, a couple through from A main. Now that we see the rotation from Pro.
Yeah, so Pro is going to throw that smoke into window by the looks of it to maybe get a window boost. And then you probably get one smoke in the CT and try to collapse off. But still, Kenzie gets the first peek out, even though he gets surprised. Actually, a jungle smoke coming out. Now the CT is getting wrapped on, and they're just getting absolutely flushed out of their positions. And this might be it. TNC finally managed to secure a T-side pistol, the first T-side pistol for both sides. And Chapman, no mercy being shown. TNC 5 up with the Glocks.
14-2, 12 up as far as the rounds are concerned. Forced by will most definitely come through from FrostFire. TNC are pretty well prepared for it. An AK, a Galil. Borkum can afford an AK here, but he decides better of it.
Pro going to go out for the aim duels by the looks of it. I think the smoke was going to be used to obscure catwalk position. Chap has managed to make his way into unders though. That could be absolutely lethal right now. Or Kenzie, who's been left here in B-Apps.
TNC slowing the round down. Utility used early in toward middle, but they haven't really done a whole lot with it. Rotating most of their players back to the A-bomb site. Looks like it is going to be Kenzie here to fake the B site. Hasn't done too much faking there. Immediately on the rotation is FrostFire, but is it going to be fast enough as TNC also immediately out onto the A-bomb site? Subbies Needs to win this aim battle, but can't quite. The smoke down here for the CT side. Devi looking to try and deny the bomb plant, but won't be able to do that. Will get two, however. And Pro and Puppy Chulo now to try and hold off this retake from the remaining 3 FrostFire players. Are we going to see it happen again here, Kevin?
It's not planned from this. So Papachulo has to go absolutely massive the AK-47 right now, and uh-oh, they're granting him the opportunities until Amen decides to pop a deagle shot.
Pro's not going to get there in time. They're going to stick the defuse. Oh, dearie me.
Yep, and Chapman knows exactly where he is.
It's going to happen again. So, the force spy goes the way of FrostFire.
I mean, for TNC there, come on, man. When you use that CT smoke, there is one thing you have to be watching for is that ticket boost, because the CT can jump up, can always spot into default. Ah, man. This might come back and bite them. Who knows just yet. They managed to get the bomb plant down, so they're just going to go on the full eco. But for FrostFire, you can see 5 rifles up now. They're not messing around. They know they don't have any luxury messing around if they want to come back and secure the 2-0. Got to be taking 12, what is it, 12, 13 rounds in a row?
13 in a row if they want to win here. 12 if they want to go to overtime. At this point, I think FrostFire would take overtime if you offered it to them. TNC, on the other hand, are quite eager to avoid that, but unlikely to be seeing it this round.
No indication of what's going on for FrostFire, so they're just going to be sitting a little bit further back and just allowing TNC to be moving around with the Glocks as well as the P250s. Our chap was just making sure that Borkum doesn't have free access through Murder Hole. Deviatho going to be holding that triple position and just gunning them down with that M4, and I think this round has been secured. Enough work has been done by Devi. He's down to 1 HP, but he's still alive. We'll be able to keep the M4 up for the next round. And now Kenzie just looking to do whatever damage he can with the Glock.
Whatever damage he can with the Glock. How much is that going to be?
I mean, we saw Papachulo manage to get 2 kills and nearly another one. So there you go. That's the first kill. And
well, not too bad.
A little bit of extra cash.
Not going to be able to upgrade that from us. But a buy from TNC here. A win in this round for TNC wouldn't necessarily net a easy win in the next round, though. FrostFire do still have some cash across subbies, Devi, and Archap. It would definitely be a better start to the half than what they might face. FrostFire aggressive into mid. 2 for 1, however. Puppy Chulo steps up, 22 HP. He'll get the job done, though. 2 kills for him. 2 for 1, TNC with a player advantage, and already Borkum very far up in Palace.
It's going to go down to whoever checks Sandwich at this stage. And Devi probably favouring him right now. Kenzie just being an absolute nuisance, just throwing a flashbang, making Chapman going, is there still anyone here? There's 1B apps. It's going to force him to potentially drop the Incinerator Grenade as time keeps ticking away. But for TNC, they are going to be grouping up to this A site instead. And I think we've got Eamon has already actually pushed in pretty far, but Kenzie spotted out the gun barrel.
Well, just one more kill on the way to TNC's march to victory. Fire wasn't properly checked, however, and he will get 2 before being traded out by Pro. Still good enough for TNC, though. It's a round on the board. 15's up.
Match point. So hitting match point a lot earlier on than FrostFire did in their train game. I mean, you said that FrostFire still at least have this final cash reserve to put a bit of bite into this, but TNC able just to work that mid position, contain the mid aggression early on, and then afterwards, Kenzie with the smart rotations able to just get around. I mean, to be fair, I haven't been 100% convinced as well because TNC's T side hasn't really evolved too far just yet. Looks like they're just going in en masse.
A lot of utility being thrown into the window.
Yeah, that should be a cancel at the moment. Just go, all right, we've thrown so much utility at mid. Let's just slow it down right now. They know we're mid. We go through connectors, too many corridors. Need to start establishing a bit more map control, and Borkum is going to walk out. Mackenzie's just going to get a single kill there. He's just killed his own teammate as well.
1 for 1, but a lot of damage done there to Devi. incredibly critical shot from Wits. Arnchap goes down. Devi will be cleaned up by Kenzie. 3 versus 2.
Do they know Subbies is here? Yes, they do. How does Wit spot his little head? I don't understand. This guy's too good.
Bomb's going to go down for Papi Chulo. 1v3 for Chapman. Does at least have an M4. Going to run right into Wits, who's looked good all day. And that is going to be TNC to close out the second map.
All right, can we import this kid named Wits? Seriously? Can we get him in Australia? I want to steal him for ANZ Pro League.
You want to steal him? Well, I don't know if that's how it's going to be, but TNC do close out map 2, which means we will go through to Nuke. FrostFire 16-14 on map 1 of Train. TNC, a much more solid victory there on Mirage, but it did seem to come in a fairly similar fashion where obviously they had a great first half and then just sort of clawed their way in at the end.
Yeah, I mean, the CT side can't really complain about what their players were doing. Looks like the aim was on point, carrying over from Train Bros for FrostFire. It was just too cold at the end of the day. A lot of the decisions, they were able to get the entries early on. They were able to get the numbers advantage, but it just seemed like that was just a position that TNC were able to bring it back from. There was people making heroic plays, able to lock it down, and all of a sudden, before you knew it, 13-2 half once again for TNC. And the only rounds that they really lost was FrostFire going in really quickly, I think, with pistols, which is pretty funny when you think about it.
Yeah, definitely not an amazing performance there again on the T side for FrostFire. So Nuke CT, that's going to be a very big deal. I think whoever gets the 9th round in the final map here is going to be very happy and might even just win the map off it. I mean, we talk about Nuke and we talk about the CT side being so potent, and so far both sides have been so potent on their CT side and really lackluster on their T. I wonder how much of a difference that is actually going to make in that final map.
I don't know, to be honest, because at the end of the day, anything could happen on Nuke. You have one person that's popping off. What happens if Wits is able to carry the form on the T side? Say if TNC start on the T side and Wits and just comes out there, just hits every single amazing AWP shot and entry, because Devi hasn't looked the goods just yet so far with the AWP. Hasn't looked like he can really stand toe-to-toe. There's too many things to be asking at this stage. Not enough answers. We're going to have to wait to jump on there to really wait to see. I can't even find words at this stage. It's been a long day.
It's been a long day, Kevin. Maybe what you should do after this broadcast is calm down, go jump on ESCA, have a few chill games of Counter-Strike. Sounds like a great time to me, but what we still need to think about is heading on to Nuke, that final map, how things are going to play out there. There's a lot up in there. I think Wits, the boy Wits, he seems to be a bit of a key there for TNC. And on the CT side of Nuke with the AWP, jump around the place, jump in B-ramp, jump on out up. You can definitely have an impact. But we're going to see how much of an impact he is actually going to have after the break.